the first season of the eagerly anticipated Game of Thrones prequel, which follows the family intrigue of the Targaryen dynasty almost 200 years before Queen Daenerys set out to recover the Iron Throne, has concluded, a century or so after the Targaryen conquest, which introduced dragons to Westeros and took the Seven Kingdoms under their control. House of the Dragon has made a splash. Episode 1, The Beneficiaries of the Mythical Beast, The Fantastical World, situated to some degree on the smash hit Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin, after a brief voiceover to update watchers, gets in the 10th year in the rule of Lord Viserys. He was decided to be the replacement for Lord Jaehaerys I, who had no male beneficiaries, by the incomparable Committee of Harrenhal, while that board picked him over Rhaenys Targaryen, Jaehaerys' oldest relative, on the grounds that the high position couldn't pass to a lady, nor through a lady to her male relatives. That choice is something that will return into play later. The principal episode gives you a knowledge into a portion of the primary characters that will shape an essential piece of the place of the mythical beast. These incorporate Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen, Girl of Viserys, and her mythical beast, Syrax, the Lord's sibling demon, Alicent Hightower, Girl of Otto Hightower, and Sir Criston Cole, among others. The episode provides us with the main taste of the grisly scenes that happen in Westeros, with Daemon, as Commandant of the City Watch, drives his men on a ruthless frenzy through Lord's arrival to tidy up the foulness, so to speak. We likewise see the contention among him and Sir Criston Cole create and work out in what should be a celebratory jousting rivalry for the introduction of what ruler Viserys trusts is a child. Unfortunately, that wasn't to be, and we get one more stomach-turning scene while his significant other Aemma Ryn endeavors to bring forth a breech child. Both mother and youngster pass on in the undertaking, setting up Lord Viserys' plan to make his girl his successor, however not before a castle interest to get the ruler to come about his choice. Episode 2, The Maverick Ruler. Consistent with its title, Daemon gets dependent upon a few horrible trickeries in the second episode of Place of the Winged Serpent, enraging his sibling to the place where it nearly finishes in hard and fast conflict. In spite of the fact that Lord Viserys has picked a main successor, the Little Guidance have different plans and approach the Sovereign to take one more lady to potential sire a child and guarantee a line of progression. This prompts one of the more awkward scenes where the 12-year-old woman Lena, little girl of ruler Corlys and Princess Rhaenys, is introduced. Nonetheless, HBO didn't go down that street and decided rather to get the ruler hitched to Alicent. Gracious, and having a little gore wouldn't be legitimate, not. The Free Urban Community's state army drove by a Myrish ruler catches an armada of Master Corlys boats and feeds his mariners to the crabs, alive, on the Stepstone Islands. Episode 3, Second of His Name. The union with Alicent has been productive. Around 3 years after the last episode, the couple have a child and one more coming. Their most memorable conceived, Aegon, is named after the incomparable Aegon Targaryen the Vanquisher, hence the episode's name. This episode gives us a lot of blood, guts, and singed troopers. Daemon, on a winged serpent, goes after the Stepstone Islands, and in spite of the fact that his powers bargain a devastating disaster for the foe, they figure out how to disappear to the safe house of the Bloodstone's caverns from the fire-breathing animals. The ruler is excited that his has a child, and strains among him and his girl stew to a bubble as propositions to be engaged are flooding in for the youthful princess. Rhaenyra takes her indignation issues out on a wild pig, and Daemon takes his out on the crab feeder. Episode 4, Lord of the Tide Ocean. The fourth episode sees the battle, in a real sense, to have the hand of Rhaenyra. While this portion is more about court interest and Targaryen eccentric perverted traditions, the princess consents to wed Sir Laenor Velaryon, making the domain's security more grounded. However, she has her dad dispose of Otto Hightower as the hand for his moving to get his grandson Aegon to be the main successor over Rhaenyra. Episode 5, We Light the Way. Not at all like a wedding in the realm of round of privileged positions, however gorgeous as they seem to be dangerous. Rhaenyra and Laenor will secure the bunch out of obligation, however neither truly is into the other. The lucky man is very little into ladies at all. However, that is no issue. The prospective married couple come to an understanding, partake in whatever dinners they want. Daemon ensures his most memorable spouse won't be in participation, visiting her in the Vale. Before he snuffs her out, she gives him a noble reprimanding. The iron privileged position has not been benevolent to Viserys, and injuries that have shaped from pricking himself have gotten to what resembles a hazardously unfortunate spot. In the meantime, Alicent, while she could have done without being involved by her family to additional their situation in the domain, honestly loves her dad being turfed away. She makes an appearance to the wedding wearing her family's flag tone for war, emerald green, and ensures everybody takes note. Episode 6, The Princess and the Sovereign. Episode 6 finds everybody a piece more established and new kids aplenty. Rhaenyra has 2 more established young men and a third one brought into the world during the episode. all fathered by serious areas of strength for Harwin. Demon has tracked down another spouse, Lena, and they have 2 or 3 youngsters too, yet the introduction of a third goes poorly and she decides to bite the dust by winged serpent fire. The pressure between the family is at any point present, and we get to realize exactly what a little imp the youthful Egon has transformed into. Likewise, a new and maybe the most heartless miscreant in place of the mythical beast arises in major areas of strength for Larys. Episode 7, Driftmark. The passing of Lena unites all the family with flashes flying and plans brought forth in Episode 7, Eamon, showing that he has similar dreadfulness as his sibling Egon. Takes Vhagar, Egon the champion's mythical beast who had been passed down to woman Lena. Vhagar should be given to Bela, her girl, yet Eamon bonds with her before she can. This outcomes in a fight and Eamon losing an eye to Rhaenyra's child Ysri's blade. That thusly angers Alicent, who needs retribution. While her arrangements to have one of Jace's eyes cut out is halted, she gets a pound of tissue from Rhaenyra's lower arm. Rhaenyra and Demon plot to get the high ground over Alicent, when they are allowed to wed each other, making a more grounded guarantee to the privileged position when Viserys bites the dust. Lena's passing is organized and he will live cheerfully ever after with his sweetheart. Basically, we trust so. Episode 8, The Ruler of the Tides. Viserys, shockingly, is as yet alive, on the off chance that you can call it that, as a mobile decaying body. He imparts Egon's vision to Alicent of a prescience about the apocalypse of men that was designated a melody of ice and fire. This persuades her that it will be her child Egon who ought to be topped off. He shows exactly the way in which reasonable he would be for the gig by sexual attacking Diana, one of the babysitters raising Alicent's grandkids. Episode 9, The Green Committee. The scheme to make Egon the following ruler rather than Rhaenyra was not simply being plotted by Alicent and her dad. Upon the demise of ruler Viserys, it becomes known that the Little Committee had been anticipating that from the start. Any difference regarding this situation is managed rapidly. Sorry, Master Lyman, and all others that don't twist the knee quickly head off to the scaffold. While killing off any remaining potential and genuine actors to the privileged position is viewed as Rhaenyra and Demon are uninformed pretty much every one of the happenings in Lord's arrival. Princess Rhaenys, who's been secured in her chambers, makes a tremendous break on the rear of her mythical serpent Melis, intruding on the crowning ceremony of Egon. Episode 10, The Dark Sovereign. Fresh insight about the overthrow spreads on the rear of Melis to arrive at Rhaenyra, which so upsets her that she starts giving birth, rashly conveying a twisted, stillborn little girl. While the episode isn't the most activity-stuffed, those that go against Egon on the Iron Lofty position rush to Dragonstone to vow devotion to Rhaenyra. Arrangements are made to bar ruler's arrival and messengers are conveyed to accumulate more help for asserting the lofty position. In any case, that outcomes in a circumstance where Lucerys and his mythical beast Arax end up as supper for Aemon's winged serpent Vhagar. Maybe not planned, yet there will be no retreat from war now.